Joining us now is five-time world champion Paul McBeth. And Paul, a lot of our elite level players had taken off the last couple of weekends. We've had a couple of Silver Series events, but quite a few people have taken off. You didn't play any Silver Series. Instead, you opted for a different tournament?
Oh, yeah, throw down the mountain. Yeah.
What leads you to a decision like that when Silver Series events are available or people are taking weekends off?
One, I just love going to Florida and playing in Florida. And throw down the mountain, that Brooksville course is so unique. If people don't know at home, it's built on an old limestone quarry, so you got some really steep drops. You know, it's unlike most of Florida to where people just think it's flat, but this one's got some 300+ foot drops on some holes, and then you're climbing this mountain, and it's just incredible. And then just being in Florida, knowing the weather's more than likely going to be good that time of year. So it's just one I always like to go to if possible. And this year, we had a Silver Series the same weekend, so I didn't think it was too big of a deal to miss that and then go over to Throne Mountain and then take a week off after.
And speaking of that week off, it sounds like you were helping out, almost playing host. We had a few other competitors, international competitors. Describe how you were relaxing and what the week off was like.
Well, it was busy. It was a busy week. We went over to Jacksonville Beach. We had the Estonians come back into town. We invited them down to come just hang out and get some good weather because they experienced Vegas, Arizona, Texas for 3 weeks, and we're like, man, you guys have had it tough to start the year. So we're like, let's go down to Florida, enjoy some good weather, and we were able to go to the beach, get in the water, and just kind of play some disc golf and practice for this one. So it was a busy week, but a lot of fun.
And to follow that up, at the last press conference, Texas State's, you kind of dropped on the world the news about you purchasing property and or a new residence in Florida. Where does that stand?
Yeah, during that off week, we bought a house. So hopefully closing on that by the end of the month. But everything's in progress to get done and be smooth.
All right. Well, back to the business of you throwing discs around. You probably already know that you've won 50% of the majors that you've played in since 2012. You're going after your 17th. Paige talked about the battle and the bet that you guys have between each other, and that would also bring you within 2 of Ken Climo, arguably the GOAT, as many would refer to him as. What do those numbers mean to you?
I mean, it'd be super cool. That's a number that, Climo obviously has some age-protected majors that don't, count for that 19 open division majors. So it'd be huge, especially knowing that the players that we have now, they have a long ways to go to catch up. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I know I still have a lot of years left to play. So I'm going to be battling with all these names that we know right now that we're going to be seeing this weekend. So to be able to get to 20 would be incredible, and it'd be number 1 on a list. So in disc golf.
And speaking of lists, my final question is, where does this course rank for you in terms of how much you like it? Is it one of your favorites or no?
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. I think there's a lot of good holes, but I think just the one knock is it's kind of repetitive. I feel like a lot of the shots are very similar. But we're in the woods the whole time, so you kind of get lost where you are at some points. But it is definitely a challenge. That's one thing that it has is it's an extreme challenge, and scores I think can be all over the place because you can be on one day and shoot double digits and be off just a little off the next day and be struggling to keep par or better. So, it's definitely a challenging track for us.
All right, here's Grant.
Paul, with the advent of the Champions Cup, disc golf now has a 4th major in the calendar year. How big is that for the sport?
I think it's really big. I think it's going to kind of just keep some consistency in the major side. I know for next year, I don't know if European Open's happening or if it's how that's going to work, because European Open's typically a year on, year off kind of thing. So I don't know if it's always going to be 4. I don't know what the deal is there. But for this year, having 4 majors is cool because, we're already talking about major disc golf right now, and we're in April? So this is much sooner than we typically do. I know Australia has been a major in the past, but that was January, so it kind of just didn't feel like we were ready yet. But this feels like, it's really, really kicking off the major season and the heaviest stretch of the year.
One could say you have something like a career slam, and you have it more than once over, having won other majors multiple times. Now the Champions Cup joins the slate. It has possibly the best field overall. Is there extra motivation for you to win this first one?
I wouldn't say extra motivation. I mean, it is major, so that is a big deal to me. These are the ones that I feel like you said, for a career are huge. In order to make this Hall of Fame that's next to us, like you almost have to have one of those next to your name to make that Hall of Fame. So to be able to add that and hopefully get closer to Climo's all-time record would be really cool. So anytime there's a major, there's an M next to the tournament, I'm gunning for it.
I saw you personally out on the course a couple of times yesterday. It looked like you might have taken 2 entire laps yesterday. How many total practice rounds did you get in, and are you all set, or do you feel like you want to get a few more reps in?
Got in here Sunday, so probably about 2 a day each day. Today, not so much. I'll probably go out and play a few key holes after this. But honestly, my drives were really bad up until about today. Working on a lot of things, figured it out, and just kind of like where my body is, where things are maybe misfiring and such. So I feel like today I really nailed that in and was throwing shots better than I have in a long time. So felt really good. So I'm gonna go out there and toss a couple more after this and see if it's, if it wasn't just a 1 round kind of thing. So, but I did make some adjustments and I feel really, really good about it.
This is Mitch with Gatekeeper Media. Last week you announced your official schedule, and part of that you mentioned already, being able to go to Europe, going to PCS Sula and the European Open. Talk about how excited you are, what that looks like for the European listeners and viewers here, be able to go back across the pond and be a part of those tournaments.
Yeah, it is still a toss-up with some things going on over there and such. So I'm really excited to get over there and being able to go to like Montenegro and stuff like that for the foundation and some more disc golf installation and just bring it to a brand new country it's a lot of fun because you're just so hopeful that they fall in love with it the same way that we did. So really excited about that. Really excited to get over there and play some tournaments again and do something more that's more so my job than putting disc golf course in there. I'm really excited about it, and hopefully, I can get that 6-week tour over there next year and not have to change things up a little bit. So
yeah, you mentioned being able to work with the foundation. It's been amazing to see what all the places the Paul McBeth Foundation has been able to go to. What are some of the plans in Europe you mentioned?
Going over there, installing the course in Montenegro, doing some work, possibly doing some clinics, and just getting the word out there that there's disc golf here in Montenegro now. And then later in the year in Africa, we'll be going installing some disc golf in a country or two out there. Hopefully, if anyone's watching this and is thinking about going to Montenegro, it's on my schedule when I'll be there. So it's the more hands there are, the better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone, that's Paul McBeth. We wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.